So everyone, this is Designcaster and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have the part 2 of the pilot episode of Let's Design Modern Farmhouse. Alright, welcome back again for the part 2 of the pilot episode of Let's Design series. For the part 2, I'll be talking about more of the rooms, and those rooms are as follows: powder room, library, garage, living area, entertainment area, study room and storage, master's bedroom, and the master's bathroom. So now, for the first room of the part 2, let's talk about the powder room. This is just a short part since it's a very small room and the interior design style of it will be modern Zen. I put ceiling design just like in the fitness and wellness area for it not to look like it's small yet lofty. I used most of the items from Spot A since the build items from the game pack fit in from the interior design style of the room. Usually powder rooms are used by guests, that's why it only has a toilet and a wash basin. Speaking of the wash basin, it's a mistake for using that kind of wash basin since it doesn't fit in the interior design style of it. I just realized about that after watching my recordings. Well, anyway, I also put in some plans to have that Zen vibes in it. I also put in wall dividers so that there will be a separation or privacy from the toilet and wash area. And that's everything for the powder room, and now let's move on to the next area. For the next area, we'll be talking about the library. The library is the first area in the right after entering the foyer. The library will be subdivided into 3 areas: the discussion area, the reading area, and the collections area. The discussion area is like a living room arrangement wherein there are sofas and living chairs as well as a coffee table and a fireplace. The discussion area is like this since the family loves to read books, and this is the area where they can share their insights from their books that they have read or share new things that they learn from what they have read. I love this area as well since it's inviting and warm, and the view of the garden with the pond helps in being with nature and natural light. Another area is the reading area where they can of course read books or study and upgrade their skills. There are 2 areas where you can read in the reading area. You can be in the couch with another sim, or you want to be alone and peacefully reading in the corner with the natural light and view. Lastly, the collections area where there are limited edition books or some rare collectibles. There's also a big map of the Brindleton Bay since the family is the wealthiest of the residents in Brindleton Bay, and also the family's great-grandparents were the politicians as well. Let us now talk about the interior design style of the library. I decided to mix modern and rustic in this area where rustic is more abundant in the discussion and collections areas, and modern for the reading area. Same as the other areas, I used again wooden floor to make contrast with the concrete walls. I decided to put brick walls and slate wall dividers as well to give boundaries and privacy of the 3 areas. As for the furnitures used for the discussion area, I used the unabashed sofa and love seat because it looks so rustic. I'm really loving it. And then I also used the mega living chair with the same reason. I also used the squared coffee table and the ottoman from the laundry stuff pack since I mentioned before in the part 1, the laundry stuff pack has a lot of rustic build items to it. Also, the Muse bookshelf fits in with the rustic vibe of the area. And lastly, the Demenois stone fireplace will be the focal point of the discussion area. For the reading area, I used more of modern furniture such as the towering intellect dual bookcase from the base game, as well as the counterbalance living chair from Fitness Stuff and Corgi something. I just know that it's the ottoman that comes from the City Living expansion pack. I also added a timber hall console table from the Seasons expansion pack with deckers to fill up the unused space. I decided to have a rustic vibe in the reading corner just to match it with the discussion area. Lastly, for the collections area, I mostly use rustic bookshelves in here such as the Libraire, the 4 Best bookcase with a cabinet on top of it, as well as the Caress bookcase. I added as well the Lost in Transit bookshelf to match the reading area in parallel. For the lightings used, I used Reclamation Homeware ceiling lamp and the Photonic Observer ceiling light to match the rustic design of the discussion and collections areas. And that's all for the library. Let's now move on to the next area, which is the garage. Okay, for the garage, I'll just discuss about this area quickly since it's really an easy space to fill. The interior design style of the garage is pure industrial, and as you can see, I put in the DIY garage mural from the City Living expansion pack since we don't have yet the official garage door like in The Sims 3. Then I also added the vault modular counter for storage design purposes. And lastly, I added in rusty pipe wall decorations from the Get to Work expansion pack to make it look more industrial. And actually, that's just everything for the garage. Let us now move on to one of the main areas of this modern farmhouse build, and that is the living area. The living area is one of the biggest area of this build, therefore I divided the living area into 4 parts: the main area, the guest area, the reading areas, and the reception area. The first one will be the main area, and it is the focal point of the living area. In this area, usually it has seats with the coffee table in it. It is in the center, and also it has a rug in the fireplace, which helps in defining this area as the focal point. In the main area, almost every activities can happen here, such as, of course, conversations or discussions, relaxation, reading, and much more. It also has the best view of the outdoors overviewing the sea and the dead grass aisle. The next area is the guest area. I actually have no idea why I call this the guest area since I intended it to be an entertainment area, but there's already an entertainment area on the upper floor. Well, anyway, the guest area is usually where guests can mingle with each other, and it is in the boundary of the dining area, so after guests finish their meals, they can make drinks in the bar and then have a conversation while having a drink in the guest area, listening to the music from the jukebox beside it. There's also generous space in the middle of the living area, so the Sims can dance and party as long as they want. The third areas are the reading areas. Yes, there are 2 reading areas beside the main area. If you're facing the main area with the outdoors at the background, on the right is a reading area with 1 living chair, an end table, and a bookshelf. While on the other side to the left, there are 2 living chairs, an end table, and a console table. Both reading areas have a different interior design style that we will talk about in a while. And lastly, the reception area, which is located under the stairs beside the boundary of the hallway. And in here, the reception area, of course, its main function is just to have a seat for the guests who just came in while waiting for the residents or the family to greet them and invite them to different areas of the house. So now we'll be talking about the interior design style of the living area. I'll be dividing it again into 4 since each area has a different interior design style to it. But before we proceed to discussing the interior design style, I would like to ask you if you're an expert in this field. Is it a mistake to have a different design style in one area? I just wanted to know so that I won't make the same mistake again in my future builds, so please put it in the comment section below. Now, let's proceed with the interior design style of the living area. I actually went on mixing rustic and modern for this area. I'm not quite sure about that, but anyway, this is the only area in the house which has a concrete floor and walls, since I thought most of the wooden furnitures will give a beautiful contrast to it. Well, anyway, for the main area, I mixed rustic and modern here and applied this color palette to give a warm feeling to it. The furnitures used for this area are the timber coffee table from the Seasons expansion pack at the center, and then the Salvadorian sofa, rustic Salvadorian bench, rustic Salvadorian end table, and the rustic candle chandelier from the Jungle Adventure game pack, cozy warmth make fireplace, and the rustic hallscape from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack to give it that rustic feels for the main area. Then I just added the candle divider from the spot A, the Corgi or Corgi Ottoman from the City Living, the Cage Comfort from Get to Work, and finish the area with the outside-the-box modern rug to complement the main area with modern vibe. Before we proceed to the guest area, I just read about an article of some interior design styles and I found out that the whole living area is an eclectic style, and I already answered my question if I'll be having different styles in each areas of the house. It's a huge mistake right there, and it's too late since I already recorded everything for final editing, and lesson learned right there. Okay, so now let's proceed with the guest area. If based on my little research, I must say it falls right under eclectic, using this color palette which are mostly neutral colors with a loud yellow color. Now for the furnitures used, I use Perfect Balance Love Seat from the Fitness Stuff Pack, the straight up leather chair, minimalist style chair, and the Obstructo coffee table from the City Living expansion pack. I also used the Bottoman Ottoman from the Laundry Stuff Pack and the riveting and table from the base game to complement the rustic materials from the main area. I also added a modern painting with yellow hues in it to fill up space, and finally putting a vibrant yellow rug for the finish. For the reading areas, I'll first talk about the corner with more rustic furnitures in it. So, to start, the color palette of it is still in line with the main area, specifically seeing the yellows and the Wicker Whims living chair from the Laundry Stuff Pack and the Asset table painting from the Dine Out game pack. Now, I added as well Wicker Whims rug from the Laundry Stuff Pack to give definition for that area and to add the rustic vibe of it. Anyway, moving on to the other side, it's more of contemporary, having that neutral color palette with a mix of wood, concrete, and metals. Well, furnitures used in here are Nordshine single chair from the City Living, and the On Natural slab console from the Fitness Stuff Pack, and the timber block end table from the Seasons expansion pack. And last but not least, the reception area. It's quite simple, I must say. It's modern, more on mid-century. I'm not quite sure about it, but anyway, this area has earthy tones in it except for the yellow slab divider to complement the other areas. I also added those grass in a box planters from the City Living expansion pack and give that waterfall from the Spa Day game pack along with the Love and Pear painting at the center to be a focal point of that area. Also used the Posterior's Respite sofa with plants from the Jungle Adventure beside it and the Lean-to Learning bookshelf from the Fitness Stuff Pack. I hope you guys liked it, and that's everything for the living area. Alright, since every areas on the ground floor were already discussed, let us now move on to the upper floor, and the first area that we're going to talk about is the entertainment area. The entertainment area is one of the biggest area alongside with the living area and the master's bedroom. Now, for the entertainment area, I admit that I did something wrong in here. I'll explain it to you later, but first, the entertainment area is so big that I decided to divide it into two areas, mainly the amusement area and the conversation area, which are separated by a wall. I know it seems that I have a lot of conversation areas, but I just thought that it fits in since I believe there are two ways on how to entertain your guests, by letting them use electronic devices or by talking to them, which is to me is more personal and more accommodating. Before we proceed to discuss the interior design style and furnitures used in these areas, as you can see in the video, that was the time that I decided to put in windows on the wall where the greenhouse is located. With the windows placed on the walls, both the fitness and wellness area and the entertainment area are now capable of natural light, as well as having beautiful views of the outdoors, especially the pool area and the sea. I removed some things from the fitness and wellness area, like the wall strip lights from the bowling night stuff and the wall planners from the Spot Day game pack, and also made some few changes on the setup and furniture arrangement of the fitness and wellness area. Now, the area outside will be the outdoor bar and grill area. Now, after the removal of the greenhouse, the area outside has now become the outdoor bar and grill area, as well as a pathway that will lead to the elevated pool deck and the greenhouse beside the pool. Anyway, let us talk about the interior design style and furnitures used in the amusement area. The amusement area is eclectic with a very playful color palette of turquoise, orange, yellow, and white. To achieve the design style, I used the following furnitures. Citizen's reclaimed wood sofa and love seat with the vibrant orange cushion and turquoise pillows from the Seasons expansion pack. The turquoise fractured veil living chair from the City Living expansion pack. The beautiful white seam ottoman from the Bowling Night stuff. The Mount Ione Summit coffee table from the Fitness stuff pack. And finish it with a playful turquoise huge Salvadorian rug from Jungle Adventure. I also added more furnitures like the awesome cube and table and the hollow console table from the Spa Day game pack, the Boulder's Hidey Hole console from the Bowling Night stuff, and a white and turquoise Young Minds Zen bookcase. For the lightings, I put on the yellow illuminating silhouette candles on the coffee table, and a yellow paper puree ceiling light both from the City Living, an abstract orange patterned bubble trouble table lamp from the Bowling Night stuff, and a lamp named Claudine Floor Lamp from the base game. Since this is an amusement area, it won't be complete with the electronic devices, so I used the Plasmatron 3000 flat screen TV, the Rock of Ages retro stereo, the Prio Perfection motion sensor game mat, the Unorthodox gaming console, and the Digirat keyboard from the City Living. Let us now move on to the conversation area. This side has a very modern approach to it, and that's the mistake I committed in this area since mixing two areas which have different styles is a big no-no. Anyway, this area is just simple. I used neutral color palettes to it while having different materials and textures, so the furnitures used in this area are as follows. The calm and collected chair and the simple ottoman from the Spa Day game pack, the minimalist style living chair, the programmer's dream coffee table, and finish it with the Firewalker's training ground fireplace, all from City Living expansion pack. Lights used in here are 3 different sizes of the Tear Drip Drop pendant lamp from the Fitness stuff pack. Also from the small area in the corner, I used again the Cage Comfort living chair from Get to Work, and the timber block and table from the Seasons expansion pack. Now, to visualize more on how these two areas will be used, let's say first for the amusement area. This area has the electronic devices that can be enjoyed by both the family and the guests. For example, they are having some movie night while sitting, eating popcorn or ice cream, or kids can enjoy playing the motion game mat in the corner or play games from the gaming console, or everyone's having a good time while dancing and listening to the beats from the retro stereo or from the keyboard while someone's playing the piano. On the other hand, on the conversation area, adults can chit-chat with their guests on the couch while feeling the warmth of the fireplace and ask each other about their own lives or careers or whatsoever. I was actually planning to put more stuff like a karaoke machine or a gaming table or a chess table, but it seems too cluttered already if I did that. Well, anyway, that's actually everything for the entertainment area. I'm wondering what are your thoughts on mixing two different interior design styles in one area? Does it still works for you or not? Let me know in the comment section below, and let's now move on to the next area. The next area that we're going to talk about is the study room and storage. For this area, I divided it into 4. The office area where mom and dad works from home or do some office stuff. Then beside it is an arts corner where one of the sim has a career in painting and the arts. Then the third area is the study corner where the young ones of course study and do their research. And lastly, the storage area, which is in a small room. Before we talk about the interior design style and furnitures used, my first plan was to have each bedrooms their own study area so that they will have more privacy. But since the bedrooms are quite small for the study areas, I decided to make a study room for all of them. Since the study room is separated from the bedrooms, it will be easier for them to focus more on their office works or research or studies rather than having it in their bedrooms, which has a relaxing vibe to it and they wouldn't be focused to do their task. Now, for the interior design style of the study room and storage, the walls and the floor are still in concrete and wood respectively. All areas are in modern industrial design style except for the storage room. Color palettes are limited to neutral colors and specifically whites, metal, and wood textures to give contrast of the dark walls and floor. For the furnitures used, let's talk about the office area first. I used the anglet desk, professional desk chair, and the industrial exaggerated bookshelf, all from the base game. I also used the rack arms and stack and bookcase from the Seasons expansion pack, and the immersive bend PC from the City Living expansion pack. For the arts corner, I used the librarian book sorting car from Get to Work, the artist supply tabouret, and the easy breezy easel, both from the base game. And then for the study corner, I used the space-saving desk set from the City Living, the raw bookshelf, the boss executive desk chair, and the SOT drafting chair, the drafting desk, and the free roam portable computing device, all from the base game. I just added some clutters to make it look like a busy area. And lastly, for the storage room, I just put in the industrial pantry rack from the Dine Out game pack and the crates a million stacks from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, just to fill up space and to say that it's a room for storage purposes. And that's everything for the study room and storage. Let us now dive into the master's bedroom. And finally, after discussing two of the biggest areas in this modern farmhouse build, we are now going to talk about the last of the three biggest areas in the house, the master's bedroom. The master's bedroom is quite as large as the living area, except that there's an extension of the master's walk-in closet and the master's bathroom that we're going to discuss after this. And moreover, the master's bedroom has the best vista alongside with its own balcony and the infinity pool that will be featured in the last part of this pilot episode of this modern farmhouse build. Before we proceed to the interior design style of this area, I just wanted to inform you guys that the area is too big for a bedroom, that I decided again to divide it into 5 areas, mainly the master's living area, the reading area, the sleeping area, the vanity area, and the master's walk-in closet as mentioned earlier. Now, let us proceed to the interior design style of the master's bedroom together with its furnitures. But before we have the first area, I almost forgot that I retained the wooden floor and concrete wall style in the master's bedroom, especially that wooden floor that came with the Jungle Adventure game pack. It's actually one of my favorite floors since it has this beautiful amount of details. Also, the color palette of the whole master's bedroom is with a touch of teal, gold, and white, and having again eclectic as its interior design style. Finally, the first area that we're going to talk about is the master's living area. Its generous share of the color palette works well, I must say, and also its vista is breathtaking. Like if I'm the owner of the master's bedroom, I would probably stay most of my time in the master's living area. Anyway, the furnitures used in this area are the coffee squared coffee table at the center from the laundry stuff pack. We have the Citizen reclaimed wooden sofa from the Seasons expansion pack, the minimalist style living chair, the Corgi ottoman, the Firewalker's training ground fireplace, and the HD curve anti-flat screen television, all from the City Living. The Coastal Carries Ottomanly ottoman from Cats and Dogs, and finish it with the gold white patterned troop French rug from the City Living expansion pack. Let us now move on to the next area, which is the reading area. It just sits in the corner where the master's balcony's door is located. Anyway, furnitures used are 2 gold Sigma living chairs from the Bowling Night stuff, a teal or turquoise boarded text bookshelf from the City Living, a white unfathomable end table in the corner from the Fitness stuff pack, and finish it with a beautiful teal a puddle in fabric rug from the Seasons expansion pack. Alright, now we're going to talk about the sleeping area. I actually added that wooden chevron accent wall for the sleeping area to give it the distinction of the space. Then now for the furnitures used in this area, I put in 2 timber block end tables on the both sides of the bed from the Seasons expansion pack again. Then I added as well the birch 3-room divider as a headboard that came from the Dine Out game pack. I also added as well as the lumbering wall light from the Seasons expansion pack again to give that wall drama and a beautiful lighting of the bed. Finally, the Cobra Cabana with the teal comforter, white linen, and gold pillows that came from the City Living expansion pack. I also added a painting above the headboard and a lampshade with the same color palette to match the surroundings as well. Now, the fourth area that I'll be discussing to you guys is the vanity area. It's really a simple area in the corner beside the entrance to the walk-in closet and the master's bathroom. I actually love this area since you can see its playfulness by using different furnitures that actually works by using the same color palette. Now, speaking of the furnitures, I used the teal Vainglorious Vanity from the Vintage Glamour Stuff pack. Then also I added a white and yellow Intelligence Desk chair from the base game. Also, I matched it with one of my favorite dressers, which is a white and gold Perplex dresser from the City Living expansion pack. I also added some colors like the white and large fine feathered fern at the corner to add greenery, and again one of my favorite colors, which is the better as a pair of paintings. It actually really helped the area pop out, especially it matches the color palette as well. Last but not the least, the walk-in cabinet. It's just a simple design. Well, actually I used the same furnitures together with the boys and girls own walk-in closets. Last but not the least, the walk-in closet. It's just a simple design. Well, actually I used the same furnitures together with the boys and girls own walk-in closets. Anyway, for the furnitures used, I used teal Zest horizontal dresser and HVIT armoire, both from the base game. Then the OTP split mirror at the center, which is one of my favorite mirrors in the game. And to make it look more like a walk-in closet, I added as well clutters such as the display above the dresser, which is the narrow rustic Salvadorian shelf from the Jungle Adventure game pack. Then I also added more clutters such as that wall decoration with clothes hanging and some beautiful boxes on top of it. Then neatly folded clothes on the display shelves as well as those shoe racks both for male and female. And then before we end the discussion in this area, since there's just a short amount of time in the last area, I just wanted to inform you guys that I'll be discussing 3 rooms and 4 outdoor areas in the last part of this pilot episode of the Modern Farmhouse. Then after the speed build parts, I'll be releasing the official cinematic video of the complete Modern Farmhouse on November 3, 2019. Now that's just everything for the master's bedroom, and let's now move on to the final area. Finally, the last room that we're going to have is the master's bathroom. But before we start discussing this area, I just wanted to inform you that this master's bathroom is likely to have the same interior design style of the powder room. It's in modern Zen as well, but the difference is, of course, it already has a bathtub and a shower. To discuss more about it, the furnitures I use in the master's bathroom are the 2 waterfall sink from the Spotty game pack, then the Potty Mouth 2.0 from the City Living expansion pack, the @1 with shower from the Fitness Stuff pack, and lastly the Jet Set luxury bathtub from the base game. I added as well a lot of clutters and greenery just to make it look used for a long time. But before we end this part 2, I just wanted to give a heads up that I'll be discussing the boys and girls bedrooms with their connecting comfort rooms, as well as the outdoor bar and barbecue area, the deck and the infinity pool, the garden, the greenhouse, and the landscaping in the part 3, which will be uploaded on October 28th. And that's everything for the master's bathroom. And that's a wrap up for the part 2 of the pilot episode of the Let's Design series, Modern Farmhouse Edition. I wish to hear your insights and reactions with this build, so make sure to put it in the comment section below. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you do, make sure to share this video and click that thumbs up button. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos, and make sure to ding that bell button to be updated on upcoming content. Thank you for watching, and again, this is Designcaster. See you in my next video. Dag dag!